And the Texas Rangers take game one of the World Series 6-5 in 11 innings. Now 3 wins away from their first World Series in franchise history. What a game here in studio, back here with David Sampson. David, what did we just watch?
We watched an extra inning game. We watched a blown save by the Diamondbacks, the first blown save Sewald has had this postseason. We watched a superstar do what a superstar is supposed to do, Corey Seager. We watched a non-leveraged reliever in Castro be forced to pitch in an extra inning game and throw a 3-1 strike to Garcia for reasons that are not beknownst to me, and Garcia knew exactly what to do with it, and you've got yourself a Rangers victory, 6-5 in 11 innings. Game 1, they held serve as they should do, but the Diamondbacks have served notice to the Rangers. This is not going to be easy.
Look at the stars that come out in this game. Corey Seager ties the game with one swing of the bat in the bottom of the 9th, and then Adolis Garcia wins it in the bottom of the 11th. Let's welcome in another World Series champion in Will Middlebrooks, helped the Red Sox win a World Series title in 2013. Will, your reaction to what we just saw, Corey Seager ties it, Garcia, right now I would say no one is locked in more than Adolis Garcia right now.
No chance. Nobody except for me that walked over to my closet and pulled this thing out. No big deal. Long name on the back, but we play for the one in the front. I'm trying not to be biased here, but my goodness, the 8-year-old Will, who grew up 35 minutes from the ballpark in Arlington, was pretty fired up for those homers. That Seager homer was unbelievable just because of how dominant Paul Sewald had been in this postseason with that fastball up at the top of the zone. That's called doing your homework and realizing what he does well, and it's that fastball up in the zone. Seager hits that ball really well. He sat on it, got it, and put it into orbit. That was unbelievable.
He now has the most RBIs in a single postseason, 22, Adolis Garcia. He tied it in the game, and he took the lead to end the game.
And he's got 5 or 6 games left to even make that record further away from who was in second place. And what I really was thinking about this whole game, Garcia, the people who are supposed to do their job did their job. We haven't even gotten to speak about the starting pitching and the fact that the Diamondbacks got to Evaldi, the fact that Gallen had a tough first inning and then stuck in there, gave them 5 innings. But this game will be remembered because walk-offs and extra innings, they tend to be remembered. And Garcia needs to be treated like Harper. You don't let him beat you.
The bullpen had tossed 13 scoreless innings until the Sewald homer. And the problem was there, David, was the fact that he allowed a Leody Taveras walk to lead off the inning. A guy who had been 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts up to that point. Leadoff walk, that is bad news.
Will Middlebrooks knows this as a player, as a World Series winning player. The bottom line is you do not walk the number 9 hitter when you've got Simeon and Seager and Carter and then Garcia coming up. You throw him strikes. You make him earn his way on. As a team president or GM, you're losing your mind over that. And Taveras did it more than once, and that is simply unacceptable. So in theory, the Diamondbacks got what they deserved.
And Will, the pitch to Corey Seager, when you look at that, that's what they've been calling that rising fastball, right? It's 92, but it looks 97, maybe 99 up in the zone. And you know that Corey Seager was sitting on that. That was first pitch up in the zone. You sort of want to go there, and that's what he did. It was as if he was looking for that, Will.
Oh, he 100% was. This is called doing your homework, and you got to know in that situation, it's the game one of the World Series. You are one of those guys in their lineup, other than Garcia, that is circled by every pitcher on that staff to say we can't let him. We have to make our best pitches. What's his best pitch? When did Sewald get good? It's when he figured out with his low, not to get too deep in the analytics, low attack angle, he releases the ball lower. Him realizing when I throw a 4-seam fastball and I can spin it with the best in the league, when I throw it at the top of the zone, guys can't touch it because it stays up. It doesn't come down. That's his best pitch. It's been his best pitch all postseason. Corey Seager is a smart hitter. He went up there and looked for exactly that and didn't miss it because that's what professional hitters do.
On the other hand, Will, I think you'd admit that what Seager got was not the perfect pitch from Sewald, because we saw in the last series against the Phillies, when it's rising just above the top of the zone, Turner couldn't catch up to it. Nobody can, and you were saying 93 looks 99. When you look at that pitch carefully, when they study the video, I think what he'll say is, wow, I missed by about 2 or 3 inches, and those 2 or 3 inches are the difference maker when you don't have the velocity to miss the barrel.
That's also the first pitch of the at bat. He's trying to get a strike. As a hitter, you're thinking, all right, I know he's going to go up, right? So I don't want to chase. As a pitcher, you're thinking, I want to go very top of the zone, but still a strike here, because I go 0-1. Now I can make him expand above the zone. So that was at the top of the zone. I don't know if he was trying to go above it or not. He's probably trying to steal a strike there. And throughout the Phillies series, I mean, Sewald was throwing that fastball middle a lot and getting a lot of swing and misses because of the deceptiveness of it, the perceived velocity, whichever term you want to use. It looks a lot harder than it actually is.
How about this journey for Adolis Garcia? I mean, traded to the Rangers for cash considerations. They invite him to spring training. Like, the journey that he has been on since coming over from Cuba to the St. Louis Cardinals franchise and then coming to the Texas Rangers, and the guy's not even making $1 million, David. I mean, this is what legends are made of, and this is great for the team. This is team friendly, but you're building a legacy.
This is his platform year, which means he's eligible for arbitration next season, and he's going to be in the $7 to $8 million range, because you get in front of the arbitrator to use special accomplishments like LCS MVP, like potential World Series winner and World Series MVP. He's picking a very convenient, amazing time to have this type of impact, because he is going to get compensated for it handsomely.
And I want to take you back, Will. He got plunked on the wrist in his previous at-bat. Like a normal human being is crumpling to the ground. And he trots to first base, steals a bag, gets in scoring position, trying to make something happen, and they don't score that inning, but then he comes back up, and he hits one out of the yard. Like, this is one of those moments you're going to go, Adolis Garcia. Like, he's already an all-star. He already hit a bunch of homers in the regular season, already an established major league player. But in terms of superstardom, this is it, Will, right here. He's having his moment.
Yeah, like a star is born, right? Like he's been here, we've known, but this is where he's really cementing himself and making that, creating that legacy. And I want to go back even further. What you said, you know, what he went through with the Cardinals and being DFA'd. It goes further back than even that. When he was playing for the Cuban national team, they went and played in Japan, right? And then because they allowed them to go play in Japan, you can't play in the United States. And then they went to Paris on a connecting flight to go back to Cuba. That's when he defected and escaped and went to the Dominican and met back up with family he had in the Dominican, and then eventually made his way to the States and started playing baseball over here. But just the craziness of his life up until this point, not even his baseball career, is probably what has turned him into what he is now. Well, these moments aren't too big for him, right? He was dealing with life and death stuff. He gets hit in the wrist, no big deal. Bring me back up there for the boys again, and I'll show you how it works. And go backside and win that thing.
Incredible. 5 straight games with a homer. It's 12 homers in his last 21 games. He's on fire again. Most RBIs in a single postseason with 22. Wins the game for the Texas Rangers. He's the first player to hit a walk-off homer in Game 1 of the World Series since, guess who? Kirk Gibson in 1988.
Eckersley?
Yep. Lockdown.
Let's not panic if you're the Diamondbacks. Very important. The Diamondbacks have had adversity. They lost first game on the road. Not the end of the world. They came to Arlington to get one of the first 2. They got finished with Evaldi. They've got Kelly coming tomorrow. So the way I am in that losing clubhouse, I'm not hanging my head. I'm getting on the team bus, getting back to the hotel, getting to sleep, and by the time they get to the park tomorrow, Will, I think that we both agree the way it works. They will not remember this. It is done. They move on and get the win tomorrow.
You're saying this is going to have no, like, if the Diamondbacks had lost this game 6-1 instead of 6-5 in walk-off fashion.
Same.
Will, you agree with the same?
Yeah, look, especially with this team, it's not, they're not going to think as much about this game, but they're going to use what happened in Philly to their advantage, right? They're down 2-0 there. They go home, rattle off some wins, and then do the unthinkable, go to Citizen Bank Park in front of that crowd and take 2 from them on the road. They're not worried about being down 1. They don't matter. No, they're going to wash this clean before they go to bed tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, they had this game won, right? Until they didn't. It was their bullpen.
Save. It's a blown save.
It's a blown save.
Let's not lose our minds over a blown save. It was exciting. It's amazing for Seager, Garcia, but from the standpoint of the losers, and we picked the Rangers. So
yes.
we had this game.
We did.
Had the over/under. We had it exactly right. The whole package. It took a Seager home run. 9th inning, 2nd inning, 4th inning. The mentality is it just doesn't matter.
Postseason magic, though. You can't trump postseason magic.
Hey, I want to drop this. I got to drop this in there. The Rangers were 5-45 in the regular season when losing after the 6th inning and rattled that off.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's a great nugget there.
It's always been the answer backs. That's what their nickname was, the Diamondbacks, the answer backs. But they didn't answer back here. They didn't get a chance to. They lost in the bottom of the 11th inning. They'll get to answer back on Saturday. That's when David and Will get to answer. Now I'm going to narrate this full screen right here. Adolis Garcia, 22 RBIs, most in a single postseason in MLB history, passing David Freese, who in 2011 won LCS MVP and World Series MVP. And look at the other guy on this list, Corey Seager. He won LCS MVP and World Series MVP. So Garcia on track to do that as he helps the Rangers win Game 1 of the World Series.